How we doing, everyone? How we doing anyway? It's Friday afternoon and I'm feeling good. 3 more points in the bag last night for Celtic, but plenty to chat about on today's video. If you're after controversy, then we have it by the bucket load on the channel today. We've got all the chat from last night, offsides, penalty calls, Raging Hearts managers. We've also got the post-match press conferences, which I was at, the audio from them, Carol Starfelt and of course Ange Kyogo. No messing about today, let's do this. Okay, the first thing to mention, and this is a very important thing, is that Celtic won last night. And no amount of chat about refereeing decisions or controversy is going to change the fact that Celtic won last night. So let's just remember that. However, having said that, there is a reason why people do like controversy, so we're going to cash in on it on the channel today. I can't believe I'm actually doing this on the channel. Genuinely thought my life was going somewhere up until this point. But right now we're going to revisit the offside rule and the actual rules behind offside. Genuinely thought my life was going places. Okay, put simply, an offside occurs when a player is closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent when it is played by a teammate. You know what that means. Well, I hope you do anyway. Although some people last night did show up, but they maybe didn't. There are some exceptions to this rule. You can't be offside inside your own half. You can't be offside from a goal kick, a corner or a throw-in. You can't be offside if the ball is deliberately played by a player from the other team. And finally, most pertinently, in terms of Kyogo's goal, you can't be offside if the player is in line with or behind the ball. For his goal last night, Kyogo was 100% ahead of the last Hearts defender. Now, there have been some images going around on social media that show him in line with the Hearts defender. I think it's Halkett as the ball is played in by Ralston. They are photoshopped. For some daft reason, people out there have been making Photoshop, editing photos to show Kyogo in line with the Hearts defender. I don't get what it achieves. I really don't understand it at all. And I genuinely think it's a dangerous precedent they could be setting. We could be going down a very dark place, as I wrote on Twitter. But I actually don't think you need to doctor images to potentially show that Kyogo was onside last night. Now, as I say, he is 100% in the real footage ahead of the last Hearts defender. But the Hearts players are completely irrelevant in this, because what we're interested in is Kyogo's positioning in relation to the ball when it is played in by Anthony Ralston. So let's have a look at the image that I saw on social media. This is the genuine footage. It's not been doctored in any way with regards to moving players about or anything like that. This is taken from the Sky Sports feed. And as you can see, it is very marginal. Now, if VAR was in place, that's the kind of decision that it would spend 5 minutes looking over. Was he onside? Was he offside? I am still not sure because the angle isn't amazing. Obviously, those lines help a little bit. Of course, it's Kyogo's position in relation to the ball we're looking at. Is that last line right in line with the edge of the ball? It's incredibly tight. And I think that's the point I want to make here. He may still be offside by, inches or whatever, but anyone saying that this is a horrendous refereeing call is just either just incredibly biased, and I know I'm biased the other way as well, I don't shy away from that, or they just don't understand the offside rule. You need to look at this properly. The Hearts defenders are completely irrelevant. This image shows everything you need to see, and as I say, he may be just offside, but there really isn't anything into it. It certainly isn't the massive controversy that certain people are pointing out. So yeah, that's my take on the offside situation. Of course, let me know below what you thought of it. Obviously, there were other decisions in the match as well that I think frustrated Robbie Neilson. The main other one was the Gary Mackay-Steven penalty claim. That just wasn't a penalty. I think even Andy Walker on Sky Sports said it was a penalty at first, or certainly a foul, and then afterwards corrected himself almost immediately when he saw the footage. Gary Mackay-Steven trips himself up. It's not a penalty at all. So I think we've sorted that. The other thing I wanted to mention in the first half was that Celtic had an offside wrongly given against him. Now, it didn't lead to anything, but Carl Starfelt, I think it was from a free kick or certainly a cross, Carl Starfelt was onside and he was wrongly flagged for offside. So I just want to mention that as well, because not too many people seem to be mentioning that. Can we end the controversy there, everyone? Can we just say that Celtic won 1-0? And as much as I think it's interesting, it doesn't matter at all because the goal was given and I don't see the massive controversy there at all. Now, as you know, I was in the post-match press conferences last night. I wanted to let you hear some of what was said by both Ange and man of the match last night, Carl Starfelt. We don't have the video for this as we usually do from press conferences. Basically, the post-match stuff isn't broadcast by Celtic at all. It's not filmed by Celtic. It's not sent to us. So I only have audio for this. Further to that, the audio isn't the clearest, as you'll hear, because Celtic weren't allowing phones to sit on the desk in front of the person being interviewed. So I've had to kind of boost the audio a good bit so you can hear what they're saying. It's maybe not the most amazing quality we're used to on the channel, but I really want to let you hear it anyway, because some of the stuff is really interesting and you probably almost certainly won't have heard it anywhere else. First up is Ange having a wee run-in with a journalist who I mentioned in the live reaction last night about the narrative from the media after the game. He then goes on to answer two of my questions. You'll hear them being asked and answered. And then after that, you'll hear from Carl Starfelt. I asked him about the Celtic support. But first up, it's Ange.
While they were still in the game, their manager feels as if you have to come here and play, double what you normally play because they didn't get big decisions in the game today.
You should be asking their manager. You're asking me. What's the question for me?
Did you feel as if they...
The made the difference today? Is that the analysis, is it?
More or less.
Okay. Well, it's not my analysis. Yeah. I think we were the better team. We deserve to win.
Are you worried about in the second half when they actually started to come into the game? They had a couple of really big moments in that game where they could have got back level.
Which moments?
Kingsley, free in the box, nobody picking him up, free header.
From the corner?
Yeah.
There's a lot of bodies in there. James Forrest didn't have a chance.
Absolutely.
First half, second half. So if we're talking big moments, who had more big moments? So you can talk around, you can manufacture a story any way you want. The reality of it is that we dominated that game of football. It's a 1-0 game, they're always in the chance, which is fair enough. But if we had been more ruthless in the front third, a different score.
And two of the best performers tonight, in my opinion, were Starfelt and Rogic. They both obviously missed several games. What does it say about both of those guys and what's happening at Lennoxtown that they can come straight in and play so well?
Yeah, no, it's important because, as you said, it's not just the work we do with the players, but the work we're doing with the guys who are coming back to make sure that they're ready, because it's not easy to come into our side. We play very high tempo, it's very demanding on the body, so the guys have to be ready to go. And backroom staff, medical team, sports science, all the coaches are doing a lot of great work with these guys. So it was great to see them come in and sort of slip into it so well. As I said, Tommy was never supposed to play 90 today, but obviously with the injuries, we had to make a call on him to keep playing. But we're going to need it. It's not just about 11 players for sure. We're going to need a whole squad to get through this series of games.
And you speak about control quite a lot. We had it in the first half. Did you think it slipped a little bit in the second half?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's hard when the opposition obviously have to come out and they throw a few more men forward and a little bit more direct, so you have to defend. But again, we had some unbelievable moves to create some great opportunities for ourselves, and for us to be a better team, we need to take those opportunities and kill games off, because like I said, at 1-0 the opposition stay in the game, but we still had to defend, and people keep sort of talking about our defence, but it's another clean sheet for us, and again without Joe having to be extended too much.
Carol, the team and the fans seem to be really close at the moment. Is that something the players are aware of, that the backing they're getting from the supporters at the moment?
Yeah, I think the supporters are absolutely amazing. I've never experienced anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. So, of course, it's a big honor to go out every game and have a 60,000 full stadium. So I'm just really happy to be in this club right now.
Starfelt looked absolutely buzzing after the game last night, and with good reason. I think it was his best performance for Celtic. He made so many really good blocks, really good tackles. Actually, having watched the game in its entirety again today, I think he was even better than I thought he was last night. So he's really turning into a good centre-back for Celtic, and hopefully he can build on that. And beyond anything else, let's just look at him posing with his Man of the Match award. I mean, look at that. What an absolute legend. I also need to apologise for suggesting that Callum McGregor had a poor game last night. It's weird when you go to the game sometimes, you just kind of form your own opinion and go with that. I think you build something up in your head, and to be honest, Robbie Nielsen did it last night. He kind of, with his sense of being hard done to. Callum McGregor wasn't poor at all last night, as I had suggested. It wasn't his most amazing game for Celtic, but he had a pretty good second half defensively, I think, more than anything else. And the amount of good blocks he had one really good block in particular that went out for a corner in the second half. So well done, Callum. I'll never criticise you again. Huge win last night for Celtic. It feels like we're saying that after virtually every match at the moment, but it certainly is the case, and it really felt like that after the game, I think, as well. The players were buzzing after, the fans were buzzing after the game. So good work, Celtic. Another big 3 points. The Bernard Higgins protest last night, quite a lot of banners in the standing section, not maybe as many around the rest of the stadium as I would have expected. It'll be interesting to see what happens going forward with regards to that. Let's take a wee look at the league table then. Now, this table today, I've been busy, so we had it sent in by someone. It came from a Mr. Nielsen in Edinburgh, so let's see how this goes. Oh, as you can see, Bobby Madden has registered his first 3 points of the season. Last night, he beat Hearts 1-0, so he's off the mark. Yeah, let's do the actual table now. Still 4 points off the top, Celtic, but we've now opened up a 5 point gap on Hearts, and we do have a game in hand on the Jambos. Tomorrow we'll have all the build-up ahead of the Dundee United match. We'll be speaking to a Dundee United fan, a good friend of mine, to get the scoop on them, as well as predicting the Celtic 11, which will be fun, given our injury worries, and any other stuff news-wise that comes up between now and then. Also tomorrow, it's a busy day. We'll be part of the A Celtic State of Mind charity weekender. We, I believe, are on from noon until 1 PM, so it'll be a bit more light-hearted than what we do at the moment. Plenty of Celtic chat. I think I'm even doing a quiz. The AXOM Charity Weekender is helping to raise funds for the communities of St Mary's and St Alphonsus, so I will include a link to the GoFundMe below this video, but honestly, if you're cutting about tomorrow on YouTube, it'll be hard to miss what's going on with AXOM there, so I'm sure you'll see the link there. If anyone has any good topics or questions they want us to chat about in the video tomorrow, definitely let us know below, and if it's interesting enough, we will carry that on to the AXOM channel tomorrow. So plenty coming tomorrow, 67 Hail Hail video, us on AXOM as well, and then of course a big game on Sunday as well.